exercise. It's a descriptive writing exercise. So write down 1 to 3 paragraphs using your most descriptive writing possible. And these descriptions should make use of the 5 senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. And then I want you guys to use either the writing prompts that I've kind of outlined down there, or create your own kind of like descriptive writing thing. So no one else is going to read your work, so go ahead and just write as much as you can, and that is going to give us the best, you're going to be in the best place possible to analyze it if you write, as much as you can. So take maybe like 2-3 minutes.
Everybody's got one, right? You're good? I was kind of listening. What am I doing?
This is a really good position for you guys to
So
study
just
in
write,
also. This unlocks your spine.
Like a couple paragraphs of descriptive writing, using either the writing prompts or using kind of an object or event. Something you just want to describe it, the 5 senses.
All right, cool.
Okay, this is the first time I've done this, so I thought I would give it a shot. This is a good group to do it with. So, so the reason I had you do that was because in your way of speaking and your talking, there's different ways that you express yourself, and there's different things, different phrases and words you use to represent your thoughts. And so this kind of gives you an idea of whether you think predominantly in kind of pictures and visual form, in sounds and auditory form, or in, say, touch, smell, or taste. Did anyone have a very specific like visual or auditory paragraph, or a kinesthetic paragraph?
Visual for sure.
You are very visual. About a visual?
Visual and kinesthetic.
Visual and kinesthetic.
Mostly
Right.
kinesthetic, but a little
Right.
bit of auditory.
Anyone think back in their descriptive writing to things that they heard in their experiences?
Yeah, I wrote about my daughter. I heard footsteps.
Right, right. So the reason I kind of had us go through this is because we have different ways of thinking, and the way that we think and the way that we express ourselves kind of gives us a clue as to how we learn, how we take in certain pieces of information. So these are called representational systems, and thinking in so an example I put was consider 3 people who have just read the same book. The first might point out that they saw a lot in it, that examples were illustrated, and that it was written in a sparkling style. Or someone would think in sounds, they might object to the tone of the book, noting it was written in a shrill prose style and couldn't tune into the author's ideas. Or thinking in feelings, they felt the book dealt with a weighty subject in a balanced way, or the author touched on key topics and grasped new ideas easily. So I kind of wanted to get you guys thinking about how you take in information and how you represent ideas in your mind with these kind of 3 main subjects. There is kind of like a molding of those senses together in synesthesia, which I think was mentioned here before, but it's just an immediate unconscious link across the senses. So sounds conjuring up visual or abstract images, talking of warm sounds or loud colors are examples of synesthesia. And so also kind of how we look, where we look in our speaking or talking to one another. We can kind of see, if you guys see that image right there of the person, if they're looking right, they're kind of constructing things in their mind, constructing sounds, checking out kinesthetic feelings. But if they're looking left, they're kind of remembering certain things. Like if you're looking up and left, you're remembering visual images. Or if you're looking off to the left, you're remembering auditory sounds. Or looking down and left, you're thinking of kinesthetic images.
Is that some NLP stuff right there?
Yeah, this is all from neuro-linguistic programming, which I'll post the link to the book on the site or on the Facebook group. So we all kind of have a preferred representational system, and so when we think of our preferred representational system, we can think that that taking in information in those certain types of ways that we think will get it across better. Does that make any sense? And so, did anyone have like a representational system that they were surprised by? Say if you like on the Facebook group, I post a lot of videos because I like videos. I like thinking in visuals. I noticed like Odie, I guess you write a lot of words,
Yeah.
a lot of, and then pictures a lot with John. So was anyone surprised by what their representational system or their predominant representational system was? Because we all kind of, we use our five senses and think in expressing ourselves and in thinking, but there might be one or another that kind of takes over from the rest. Was anyone surprised by what their kind of representational system was, or?
It was interesting, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
What surprised me was that I couldn't find any way to separate them out.
Okay. Okay.
That everything fits where it belongs and it all works.
Right.
I don't know, the big picture, rather than taste, smell, it's all together. My
Right.
senses all work together in
Yeah.
my
So
mind.
that's kind of maybe an example of synesthesia. I mean,
Yeah,
if
and
you're using multiple.
I went through I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I could use to represent what you're looking for, and I couldn't find anything.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've done this, so I thought.
It's conceivable I'm overlooking something.
Sure.
I have a tendency maybe to be more oral,
Mm-hmm.
listening. What are people saying? But I don't think that it's dominant.
You don't think you don't have a dominant or
No, I don't
preferred
think so.
system? Okay.
I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah.
First time I've had a chance
Right.
to look at it from this perspective.
Right. But if you talk to one of your loved
Perspective.
ones, friends, family, if you can think about when they're talking to you, what kind of visual, auditory, kinesthetic things they're saying, and if they have a predominant system, it kind of helps you better to relate to them because you can put things in terms that they would understand better, like using certain
Oh,
words.
that's cool.
Well, to
Sorry.
take it one quick step further,
Mhm.
the people who mean the most to me in my life, in my past, I've communicated without any of the senses except the sixth sense.
Right.
I mean, we knew what we're thinking, we didn't speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there is that.
And that was true for all of my best friends. My
Mhm.
father, my wife, and my best friends, two or three of them out in the world.
Right.
And where can I go from there?
I mean, you kind of already got it down.
I'm
if you're
looking for
using
a
your sixth
penny, I'm
sense.
looking for a penny lost in a pile of nickels. I don't know what I'm.
Right.
Odie had a question comment.
So something that I thought about when I started this exercise is like, when you like start a really good book and it creates just with words, it paints this setting that just draws you right in. You're like, whoa! Like it just your whole image is created by those words,
Mhm.
right? And so the greatest writers, right? They use the right angle to create that experience with your five senses. That's what I thought when I read it, because it's like you can be like when you're presenting to people, you have to be conscious of the image that you're projecting and how is that image being filtered by other individuals.
Right.
And so the more vivid you create that picture, it helps other people to create a different image. And it ties right back into the stuff that I talked about with the subconscious mind, or like me talking about my story of the boat. You know what I mean? It's just a boat. It doesn't mean anything until you create that story for yourself and how you could guide your boat, or if you're on a boat, or if the boat idea sounds stupid to you. You know what I mean? It could be whatever you want, but you're creating that image, and the more vivid you are, the more tools you have to
Right.
create a better picture.
Right, and I mean, these are preferred systems that I'm talking about. We all kind of take in information in all of these ways, but we have we may or may not, as evidenced,
I don't know.
that we can take in information better in certain ways. So I just wanted to get you guys thinking about it, and see if you be a scientist, see if that changes things in your life, or if you start to think about that more, and then. That's kind of all I had for that, and just the back of the last page is the submodalities, which kind of breaks down the visual, auditory, kinesthetic systems into smaller pieces, so that you can it's just good to be cognizant of the submodalities of sense, picture, sound, feeling, and how it's composed. So I mean, ultimately just to create greater awareness of your thoughts and expression.
You mentioned you're sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that it's related to NLP study.
Mhm.
When you mirror somebody, there's
Right.
a thing called mirroring. You're picking up their way of communicating and mimicking. So it's a technique
Right.
in a way that is very studied by advertisers and convincing people like Donald Trump can mirror a crowd.
Right.
And so not to get into politics, but it's just that this looking at these modalities by just reading them, it makes you more aware of how you are communicating or how others are communicating. So it's very valuable.
Yeah, and it's all about self-study and what you want to take out of it. So, go through these and kind of reference them when you can. If you are interested in learning more kind of about neuro-linguistic programming, there's a bunch of books out there, and they talk about just general communication studies.
Richard Bandler is the guy who invented it.
Richard Bandler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to put some resources on here right
It's
now.
$10,000
What are some of the books that you've
mastered
What are some of the
program.
books that you used?
I've pretty much only used Intro to NLP, which is by John Seymour, or John O'Connor, and Richard Seymour. Then that was what I took all this information from. But still a novice.
Yeah, it's a pretty big field as far as
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
But we get better when we teach it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.